saying? Or if it's just rap, if your whole influence is just rap, like you can't really innovate or progress. You know what I'm saying?
Innovate,
and you can't be scared either. If you're gonna push other people, you gotta just do that. Yeah.
Right.
And I made a whole career out of not giving a fuck about a boundary. You know what I mean? I feel like I've made some pretty fucking great records and done a lot of good shit in the city. I have only been able to quit the job like once in 18 years of doing this. I'm a full-time fucking bartender, and I'm making a record right now, and I do not give a shit about a boundary.
That's basically shit that work. That's like, if you were talking about making millions of dollars, I've been saying like the past, I don't know how many years, I just want to make this work. I'm tired of being hungry when I go to sleep. I'm tired of working jobs that I fucking hate. You know, it's just like, we be out here like trying to do shit, and it's like, it'll be like, the dude be dope as fuck, and there'll be somebody who might be able to, you know, give him a little lift off or whatever, but he got this homie, right? And his homie is his homie, and his homie's kind of weak. But his homies don't get on because that's the way this industry works. Who you know, who you fuck with, who you pretty much can manipulate into being your friend. Like a lot of cats act like, oh, this is my homie, this is my people right here. These motherfuckers don't really care about you. Like they're trying to get to a different pedestal to, you know, work off your shit and do all this other stuff. Like it's not like this is not a game when it gets to have so much money involved. Like you got people on, I don't know if you guys heard of World Star. Do you guys see World Star like where you're at?
Yes. Yes, we have
this
stars.
Is like, yeah, it's like, that's like, you know, that's like the cinema reel for kids nowadays. Like they just go through World Star, yeah, and then just like look at all these, like there's some fucked up videos. Yes. And it's like dudes will, like you like I can just sucker punch this dude right now, I can videotape it and be on World Star. Like I'm on World Star, you know, like, play my song in the background. Like I'm on World Star, right? And you know, do that or pay $500 to get on there. Like they take advantage of the people's like want and the like actual passion for it. That like, you know, they got people setting up shit where you gotta like pay $50 just to be on it, and then you gotta sell this amount of tickets to do that. So you got a bunch of crap ass people with a lot of friends on stage. It's like, oh, I got all these friends, check me out. You know, it's like, so I've created the sense of a movement, and people will follow into that because that's what they see. It doesn't even matter if it's real, if it's not happening, if it's happening. Exactly. Perception is reality. So it's like,
Can I ask a quick question for you, Bob? So if you had to pick one American artist, current hip hop artist, that you think is making, you know, a large impact or influence on the culture of hip hop in your current countries, who would you pick and why you think that they're doing that?
Who would I pick? Well, it's hard to pick an artist from US. I don't know. We used to see all of them on TV, so we like what they do. So I think that all of them inspire us somehow. Even if we don't do the same thing that they do, they will inspire us anyway. So personally, I think that we don't have like.
I asked because we had talked to a friend from Morocco who had no idea who Waka Flocka was. He could tell us everything about Tupac, and he could tell us everything about Gucci Mane at that time. But I just wonder, you know, what artists are breaking through the global barriers and do influence another culture in which you never hear.
Yeah, in Morocco it's really different because it's an Arab country, so they don't have that culture of hip hop. Maybe I think I lived there for 7 years, and really you can't even listen like hip hop music there. Like the only one who you can hear is like Jay-Z and the big ones. And in Morocco they don't have any. I think that maybe 2 or 3 hip hop groups, so it's pretty different. But in Africa, I don't know why, maybe because we feel all Africans, the hip hop, it's just, yeah, what's inspire us, so.
It's about it. Much of the influence is coming from the likes of Jay-Z, Drake, and Kanye West. I think New Wave right now is like on the top. It changes with the time. I think the trend, the same trend that you guys in the US follow is almost similar to the trend that guys in Zimbabwe follow. There used to be a time when people would fall so much for the likes of, say, Tupac, but that's the older generation. But in the new generation now, from say 1 year up to 25, you find they know so much Lil Wayne, that's the kind of music they're doing. And you know what, like there's one thing that you guys were saying that okay, in terms of music, we have got to a point where it doesn't matter necessarily what you're saying about. It's now an issue of innovation, how fast you run it, how creative you're getting ahead of maybe your other artists maybe in the industry, as well as creative enough to read and interpret what the audience wants. You know, you find that will sustain you in the game, you know, more than anything else. Despite maybe the connections that you have, despite maybe the money that you have, because with some artists have very money to produce good songs with all the means, but they're failing to make it. But those artists that are getting more creative, because right now the songs that are making hits in my country, be it the reggae, be it hip hop, are songs that are talking about issues that affect people in different ways, be it a relationship, be it political, be it economic. But how they bring the message across is what's determining how much followership they're getting from the audience. So if you sing the same stuff in a certain way, you might not attract an audience, but if you get more creative about it and say, okay, I've released this song today, the next day my audience needs to hear something more different, more exciting, a new beat, a new flow. Like that's what's gonna really keep you ahead of everybody else.
Yeah, I have a question in relation to something Miles said to me a second ago. He talked about the mothership. Obviously, we're talking about the P-Funk, all right? Like West Coast hip hop, basically totally based off of the P-Funk, the funk era. Big thing for me. You guys have obviously found a vessel because there are a few of you in this room. And you've been brought together in a room. You came from every country you came from. I think I was about 13 when I first started hitting like the scene as far as everything goes. And the most cool part about just waking me up while I was in bed, drunk and hungover from a show I played the night before my band was, no, you're fine because this is amazing to me. We've got 5-6 people from Africa. How do you tie this into St. Louis? I want this. And I said, man, wow. Since I was 13 years old, for real. Bars thinking I'm old enough. I've been wanting to know, how do we get, this is the most diverse room I've seen as far as, not St. Louis music in general goes, but hip hop. I know you guys, Forrest, Nato, met Tev, Corey, me and him in high school together. In high school, Brian, Maf and I were in a band together a long time ago. This cat, we play music together every once in a while. Hip hop mixed with a big 9-piece soul band. What does it take, as far as you guys are concerned, to meld something so big together to become one thing, or to become so many different things at once together? Because in St. Louis, that's the one thing I feel that we kind of miss, being a city that is so divided. With music, it is proof that we can come together. Because I mean, through blues, soul, all the music we play here, all the scene I play on, it never it's not segregated. But when I get out here with my friends, the people I look up to, everybody in this room, I mean, what do you guys say? Not a closing statement, not a closing thought process, but something I know you guys can share with us.
Yeah. For me, like I had great experience with some African artists